Welcome back to the Mogul Performance Podcast. Today, we are going to be diving into the most challenging aspect of leadership, and that is navigating change. So, whether you are stepping into a new leadership role, leading a team through an acquisition, or implementing organizational change, how you handle transitions is going to define and impact you as a leader. It will magnify how you are as a leader. Change isn't about strategies. It is about people. It is about culture. It is about execution. And let's be real here. Most leaders don't struggle with the idea of change. Everyone's got great ideas. They struggle with making that change stick. And today we're going to break down the key moves that moguls, that leaders make to lead change effectively. But just doing a quick promo here before we jump in. If you are looking to level up your leadership, Mogul Performance is there for you. Mogul Performance offers executive coaching, leadership assessments, and development programs to help you scale your impact for all leaders, the new leader, the intermediate leader who has been managing for a while, or that executive or that business owner. And today, a special free offer that we're going to be having is we're going to have the one-page change guide launching as soon as this episode is released to help you assess where your team is struggling with change and create an action plan within 15 minutes. And if you want to learn more about it, visit our website at mogulperformance.com. But all right, let's dive into it. So if you've led at any level, whether you are in business, whether you are in a corporate organization, whether you are in the military, or in an evolving industry of any sort, you know that change is constant. It's always change. But what separates average leaders from being a mogul? Moguls know that change isn't about announcing a new idea. It is about getting people to believe, believe and execute on it. So some common change scenarios that we see leaders face: a new leader transition. It's very common. A new leader steps into a role. Whether someone is newly promoted into an executive position or stepping into a different team, you need to earn trust while setting the tone of your expectations for your team. And then the next one is change due to acquisition or a restructuring. Also very common. Navigating uncertainty, keeping employees engaged, and ensuring alignment with the new business strategy is going to be pivotal for this, especially navigating that uncertainty. And then driving innovation or process overhaul is another one, such as these could be rolling out new systems, processes, or ways of getting and working to get buy-in, not compliance. So I've been in leadership positions where every 2 years there is a new leader brought on board. And then with that new leader, there comes a new strategy. And a new strategy comes a new vision or a new mission. And those things are constantly changing. But outside of the fact of consistent and constant mission and vision statements changing, I learned early that change fails not because of strategy. It's not because of strategy, but because of how it is introduced and how it is reinforced. The strategy might be a good idea, but how someone brings it above and shows it to the team and how they reinforce that to create behaviors, that's where leaders are failing. Most leaders, they make one of two mistakes when they're trying to navigate change. They either push way too hard without getting buy-in, or they hesitate, take a step back, and they let resistance take over. And that just ultimately fails. Moguls don't do either of those things. They own the transition and move with intention. So how do you build awareness and motivation? Why? How do you build that around why are we changing? Communicate the why. Communicate that clearly. People don't resist change. They resist uncertainty. It's not change, uncertainty. You want them to buy in. So in order to do that, give them a clear, compelling reason. Why is this change good? Why is this happening? And then communicate that over and over and over again, because people will lose focus on that. And if you let rumors take over, they will ultimately win in the long run. Do not let rumors take over. You want to share the vision and share that impact. Paint the picture of what success looks like. Visually, what does it look like when you walk into a room? When you're walking into your daily environment, what does that look like? What does that feel like? And how does that benefit them? Is there a better workplace culture? Is there faster process improvement? Are sales going up? What is that? What is that going to be in? And how does that benefit them at the end of the day? I've worked with executives who are rolling out with massive organizational shifts. And the biggest mistake that they make is that assuming logic alone, this makes sense, is going to win people over. That doesn't happen. If your people don't see the personal impact, what's in it for me, you've already lost them. The change isn't going to happen. You're going to find massive resistance towards change. Next thing you want to know is, can people execute change? Do they have the knowledge, the skills, and the ability to do that? You want to identify these skill gaps early. Change fails when people don't know how to execute it. If there's uncertainty, people won't know what to do next. So leverage your SMEs, your subject matter experts. Build those internal champions, those ambassadors for change. Find out who those people are, who's on board, and reinforce that change from within. And remove barriers to success. Make the process clear, structured, and supported. Think of change as a bus. That bus is going somewhere. And your subject matter experts, your ambassadors, your internal champions, they are on that bus. And so is everybody else. They are all on that bus too. And if they don't like where the bus is going, it's time to get off the bus. And that's the hard part about change. But in order to make a business, an organization survive through change, everyone needs to be involved. Everyone needs to be aligned. So if you've ever rolled out a new system or are restructuring, you know how quickly people will become disengaged when they feel unprepared. It's a natural human instinct. You've heard about the fight or flight. People want to resist change. Things are different. It's not their comfortable environment. You don't just need new processes. You need the people who are equipped to drive the change. Those SMEs, those ambassadors. That's who you need. Now, what about reinforcing? How do you reinforce that change and making that change stick? Follow up, and hold accountability. Change isn't a one-time announcement and the process just keeps going, right? And anyone who's been a part of change, they know that. It's a really good saying out there where it is, I've communicated and communicated and communicated and communicated and communicated to my team over and over and over again. And when you're sick in the head about communication, you're only halfway there. That is how you reinforce change. You want to recognize those small wins. Celebrate the progress, not just big not just big milestones. Those small wins. Keep people engaged. Keep that momentum going. Do not let it stop. When the wave is there, ride that wave through that change. And when it goes away, persevere and start paddling. Because that's how you drive through change. And then stay adaptive. Things are going to change during change. Be willing to adjust based on the feedback that you have from stakeholders, you have from your vendors, you have from your team members. Be willing to make those changes, but do that in a way where you won't lose momentum. Again, ride that wave. Change fatigue is real. It's a real thing. People get real sick and tired of change. They already don't want to be a part of it in the first place. And if we keep changing, team members are going to get fatigued. And many leaders don't realize that they're losing people's buy-in. They don't know when that's happening until it's too late and the change flops. Reinforcement isn't about micromanaging. So we're not micromanaging people. Do not micromanage your people. It is about making sure people feel supported and they see the progress that is happening through the change. Again, what's in it for me? How is this working? What am I driving towards? How is it beneficial? So let's break it down. If you want to navigate change effectively, you need to focus on three things: awareness, motivation, and then knowledge, skills, and abilities. So maybe that's five. KSAs brings it back to three. Do we miss one? If we do, what happens? Change fails. Doesn't work. You nail all three, you create momentum, trust, and long-term success. So if you want a simple framework for this, I am going to share at the launch of this episode the one-page change guide to help you assess exactly where your team is struggling with change and create a strategic plan all within 15 minutes. 15 minutes of your time to work through the headache of hard change. If you're leading a major transition, this tool is going to save you time, it's going to save you frustration, and any potential loss of momentum. So if today's episode, if it's helped you, share it with a leader. Share it with someone you know who needs to hear this. And as always, if you're serious about taking your leadership to the next level, check out our coaching programs at Mogul Performance. And until then, see you next time. Be a mogul.